Hey everyone, so today I was playing this Akshan RENEKTON OVERWHELM deck with the new Desert Duel card that was released. And shout out to Rico Rex, I'll link him in the description, but every few months or so I yoink a deck that he posts, and they always do super well. And today was no exception. I swapped two cards, but it's basically the same deck and just got a bunch of free wins. The first champ we got is RENEKTON. He's a 4-mana 4/4 with Overwhelm. He has this effect where when he challenges an enemy, you give him +2/+1 this round. And usually you're going to do this by making something vulnerable, like for example his champion spell, and then you can drag it, and then RENEKTON will be a 6/5. And then once he has dealt 10 plus damage, he levels up, and then whenever you attack after that, you just gain +3/+3 without even having to drag anything with vulnerable. And so yeah, it's a pretty strong Overwhelm champion. And the new card that just came out, Desert Duel, actually makes it easier for him to level up. Then we have Akshan. He's a 2-mana 2/2 with quick attack, and when he's summoned or he strikes, you summon this Warlord's Palace, or you advance it one round. It's a landmark with a countdown of 8, and then once this pops by like targeting allies or like attacking and striking with Akshan, you get this Relic of Power, and you get to choose one of 3 different options. You can either predict and then draw 1, you can summon this Sandstone Charger, or you can grant all allies +1. And then once the Warlord's Palace is destroyed, Akshan will level up, and then he'll actually summon you this Warlord's Horde. And then you have to do the same thing again, but then once this pops, you get the Sentinel's Horde, where you get to either cast one of these 3 spells, where you can grant all enemies vulnerable, and create in hand a 0-cost copy of the strongest ally that died this game. This is a really strong option, especially when combined with RENEKTON. And a lot of the times people use Fount of Power. You get to draw 2, and then all of your cards cost 1 less this round, and so you can end up having like some really crazy going off turns. And I guess depending on the matchup, you might want to make all of your champions everywhere get Spell Shield and +2/+2. So yeah, the new card that was released is this Desert Duel card. You give an enemy -2 attack this round, and then an ally and that enemy strike each other. So it's sort of like a slow speed single combat, which is pretty useful because we don't really have options for removal in these 2 regions. And also RENEKTON really wants to strike to be able to level up, but obviously he doesn't want to die. And so giving the enemy -2 attack really makes it more likely that RENEKTON will survive and be able to level up. And I think it's just really good to be able to remove opponents' threats, especially like back row champions like let's say Xerath or like Aphelios, or even just remove some blockers so you can deal more damage. Yeah, just a pretty cool card that they added to Shurima. And so the rest of the deck is pretty much just a really aggressive deck. You have a bunch of 1-drops, Treasure Seeker that will give you this Waking Sands, which will let you summon a 5/2 Ephemeral for only 2 mana, and that can help you do a lot of damage. Rearguard's just a really good 1-drop that can deal 3 damage. And honestly, you could consider running other 1-drops that would deal similar or the same damage, but they'd also be able to block. And I was sort of confused about this, but I started learning from playing the deck that you can actually use this quite often with this Desert Duel. So because Rearguard has 2 health and 3 attack, let's say you wanted to kill an Aphelios for example, right? You'd actually be able to use Desert Duel on the enemy Aphelios. It would make the enemy Aphelios 1/3, and then it would strike it, and your Rearguard would still survive with 1 health, and still be able to attack. So I think that's the reason to run Rearguard. But yeah, just 7 1-drops, obviously Akshan. Iron Ballista is a 3-mana 4/3 Overwhelm. It's a pretty decent unit to just get in a lot of damage. Merc Hunter very similar, doesn't have Overwhelm but it has Fearsome. And you can also grant an enemy vulnerable. This can help set up your RENEKTON, but also potentially like drag a Fearsome blocker out of the way with a smaller unit, so that your Merciless Hunter can hit their face. Ruling Death is pretty useful. We kinda need interaction in these regions. If the enemy goes wider than you, you can use this as protection. It's also really good with Overwhelm units. So let's say you attack with an Iron Ballista, just a 4/3. If they block it with something with a lot of health, or let's say 4 health, then you'd be doing 0 damage. But if you just Whirling Death the blocking unit, then you get to kill it, and then you get to deal the full amount of damage to their face, and you also get to keep your Iron Ballista alive to attack again. And so it's really strong with Overwhelm units. 1 right I think is good just as protection to make sure your attacks can actually connect, especially against Ionia. Decisive Maneuver stuns an enemy, very similar to like Whirling Death like I just explained. You can get rid of a blocker in front of an Overwhelm unit, and then you get to do the maximum amount of damage to their face. And it also gives all of your allies +2 attack this round. I keep forgetting, and I don't really use this card too much, but keep this in mind that technically because of this card, you don't really have to just go crazy like balls to the wall aggro mode. Because you can end up buffing all of these attacks, like this card gets the most amount of value from having a lot of units on board. So don't feel like you need to just send everything in for a little bit of damage all the time, like some aggro decks in the past. You don't have to play it like that, you can actually play it slower and you'll still find ways to win later on. Fallen Reckoner is a cool card I don't use enough. It's kind of expensive for only 4/3, but when it's summoned you can't block to the weakest enemy. And so it's kind of like having an Arachnoid Sentry if you've played that, where you play an Arachnoid Sentry, which is a 3/2, and then it stuns an enemy unit. You end up playing a unit, but in the same action getting rid of one of the enemy blockers, so you kind of end up being like up +2 units in a way. And so it can really help you do a lot of damage. And the cool thing is that when this dies, you get the Risen Reckoner in hand, which is like a stronger version of this card, but it's ephemeral. And it'll have the same effect, so once you play that card again, the other weakest enemy won't be able to block. And yeah, so this card's actually pretty nuts if used properly, and can help deal so much damage. Then of course we got Ruin Runner. This is a pretty crazy card. The fact that it has Spell Shield is really good, and 6 attack. Also we got Shape Stone for protection, and can push an extra damage. It gives an ally +1/+1. If you summoned a landmark this game, give it +2/+1 instead. So the only thing I changed in the deck is that he was running 2 copies of this Vikaran Safecracker. When you play it, you give an ally +2 to give an enemy -2 this round. And honestly, it was just a bit too like scary for me to use. It felt like really slow as well, and I just wasn't really feeling it. So I put in 2 Rock Hoppers instead. I figured that this is cheaper, would help do a little bit extra damage, be more aggressive, and it would also give you the Rolling Sands, which would help your Renekton make things vulnerable and help to do extra damage, as well as summoning a landmark, which would help the Shape Stone be active without having to only need Akshan in the whole deck. Yeah, just a really strong Overwhelm deck. It was actually winning games insanely fast. I think I went like on a 6 win streak when I first picked it up, and I was even misplaying here and there and still like winning the games very easily. And yeah, so you guys should probably give it a try. Yeah, that's about it for me. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Maybe even like the video, it would really help me out. And as always, if you want to see me play anything in the near future, you can leave a comment below. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks. Dusty Lips. The Viego. Man, I want to play some Viego. I want to play some Viego. Kind of cringe that we just have 2 1-drops and a... I mean, actually it's kind of good. It's kind of good now that we have like 3 1-drops. Then we can just mork him down.
Reporting in.
Maybe he doesn't have anything. Let's go. Bless Viego players. So many of them don't have 1 and 2 drops. We just get to do 7 damage for free. Bless. Hit him with the double Waking Sands. Hopefully he doesn't have the Kim of Orin. He's double buying it. This is so good. He doesn't have Kim of Orin. Block, block. Nah, that's trolling. I feel like to Whirling Death. You could reduce that. But we have Whirling Death anyways.
I do this for her, for us.
Go ahead and attack.
I will find her.
Yeah, just take it actually. Like, I could Whirling Death, but if he has like Twin or something and my Runeterra dies, I think that's kind of a BG. But I can make it so he can't even block. Hopefully he doesn't get the oh, this is the reduced cost, so he can't play the 7-drop. He literally can't block with that. What the hell? I mean, even if he blocked, to be fair, we would just Whirling Death, but he could have a Deny or a Notify again, or like Twin and stuff like that. Which is, I mean, Twin wouldn't be that good, but he could have quite a bit of answers, so it's just better to like make it so he can't even block, obviously. What the hell is this? Anivia, Asol?
Bruh. That's some cringe. I can fucking dual Asol. It's too lit.
I don't need rules to know good from bad. Villains
Nice.
beware.
3 strikes. Ah. I mean, I can just play this. He's gonna fucking avalanche. He's just gonna wait a little bit and pass. But okay, Catalyst. Pretty good. You can play Iron Ballista. He has like no mana now. Honestly, it's just a Renekton angle, right? Actually, I guess this is like what? The same damage as Renekton? Because they're not going to be vulnerable. And I can also play the 1-drop? Yeah, I guess. We still have Shape Stone up? Or like an Avalanche?
Go get the shiny devil.
Now he avalanches? You fool. You fool. Yo. This guy got jebaited. I think I played the correct order as well, so he didn't have to, he couldn't play the faces. No, Dies of cringe. Okay, so I get another strike. My whole shit's dead. Oh, he levels.
We are what we do.
Wait a minute. Imagine he lived. At least he gives me the horde before he dies. Oh, we have another Akshan. So I can summon a 5/2 at burst speed. So I probably, if I ballista, what can I look for? I guess I should ballista. Yeah, ballista first. I only have ways to make things vulnerable with Renekton. Okay, that's most of his mana. Only healing 3. I like to see it. He gets another avalanche.
Don't look the other way.
He has to avalanche here. Yeah. Honestly, maybe we're supposed to play this first then and make him avalanche right away, and then this doesn't get weak at all. Yeah, that time was the wrong order. Just sandstone, right?
Yoink.
Yoink.
This is justice.
He's technically alive. Yeah, that time I should have opened up with a 5/2, I guess. Then I could play one thing and he has to. Oh my god. Oh, but he can't actually play it yet.
You cannot hide forever, Nasus.
In and out.
Only exact. Hey, we got him. There's so much he could do right there, but like, I can't play my only card.
Then we
feel like playing my only unit right there and then not even getting the effect off of getting a blocker with it. This doesn't make much sense. We kind of had to go for it, but I feel like there's quite a bit of stuff he could have done. But I did not want to lose to Anivia. What is this? This makes you think of like aggro burn. We should be better than them though, right? We're just bigger. Oh, if we get another one drop as well. Oh. We're just trying to get as much damage as we can. Then he can kind of guarantee damage on us. I think we go for the greedy line, try to get as much damage as we can. And kind of sucks actually, I guess, right? But I mean, if he feels pressured to open because of that, might be kind of good. It didn't really matter what we did, right? We just would have lost 1 damage. If we do this, we save 1 health right now. He might make it back later, but it's probably might be correct. I don't think he might not want to block, which could let us get an extra damage. I think we actually do this. Cause like, it's not, we don't get the landmark value, but like keeping this alive to attack again is nuts. He's already down to 11. Oh, it's too easy.
I have my orders.
I can't pass.
Everything's in place.
I guess I do this. Kind of sucks. I didn't really plan on this being my turn, but obviously fervor. But I don't think I can take all that damage. I could have just played the thing, but I was like, what are the odds he doesn't have another thing to play? Maybe that's actually pretty good. Maybe I should have just played the Waking Sands and blocked 1. That's kind of getting pretty low though. I gotta open with this. If I just like
Explosives primed.
play both of these, kind of forced to block, isn't he? Unless he has another fervor, then he kind of benefits from it. But I think I can put him on having like spells. Unless he would have played a card last turn. Might have like a decimate. Might have another fervor. But I think we do this. And buys a fervor. Mystic?
Timing is everything.
Mystic fervor? Double mystic? What the hell is this? Alright, this guy's doing on some weird shit. I mean, we got a lot of burn out of his hand and a lot of mana. He has 1 card in his hand, and we're up in HP, so I think we're okay.
Where's my axe?
We also have a stun. We can play Renekton as well and block that for free. I think we won. He should just surrender right now, honestly. Yeah. Rear guard, he can't block at all. We're threatening lethal right now. That's annoying. But I mean, we can make it so that can't block. And then what we do is we get rid of this. Let's go. Let's go. Man, this deck is actually cracked. I don't think I've lost with it yet. I almost did. I made a misplay in one of them, but still free wins. Riven and Viktor. We actually could keep the shape stone because we have Akshan to enable it right away on 2. We probably should kick these just so we have a chance to get a 1-drop. I mean, it's fine. We'd probably want to smork them down, but this is kind of fine as well because they also have removal. He might go for like a mystic on here, so we can just protect it. That's cool. Go for this.
Got it. I was born in battle and raised by war.
Go for this.
Villains beware.
No looking back.
Why did he think I didn't have it? Oh my god.
Vengeance with a smile.
This deck is too easy. It's way too easy. On disc? No problem. Let's Murph on him. Okay. I wish we attacked on turn 1.
Just need a second.
Akshan, Akshan, Akshan. Mode.
Okay, ready.
3 damage though is 3 damage. But yeah, if we played anything else, it'd been so good. Like if we had a really bunch of 1-drops, we could have done so much damage here. If we play this and then Shapestone, we can still play another thing next turn. But if we like just Desert Duel, this dies. But then like we can't do anything else this turn. I think we play this and then Shapestone it. Kinda lame, but has to be done, I think. This lets me go like the widest I can, right? And he might be forced to just go for like the Xerath spell. Nope. Alright. Block this one. Take 10? Oh, Shapestone, right? I mean, Quicksand? Probably Quicksand turn. The matchups you really don't want to be getting these. I could see these being put down to like a 2. It's just a solid card in general. But a lot of matchups today, I'm not sure if I really wanted them so much. I'm drawing them a lot. Okay, he's down to 7 though.
I will fashion this world in my image.
Gonna find a gift for Renekton, right, Arda?
I'm not gonna make the same mistake as last time and use Desert Duel on this thing. Or something that won't survive. Oh nice, he tapped out. How kind of you, sir.
Where's my axe?
Bye. Easy. I didn't make the same dumbass Papega mistake that time. Let's go. This deck is fucking actually cracked. Like, I'm actually probably gonna use this to climb later.